What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video clip from a recent video of Eric July. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And anybody who has listened to me and knows me about this particular issue knows my position. I think that's there. So what I'm going to do is say this. I'm not going to reassert my position. It's been said to death. And I want to keep this a little short, but I'm going to say this. The mask always slips. It always slips. And it always comes down to this. And I've given hints that this is coming. And I just can't wait to watch it unfold because it always unfolds in this exact same way. Every time, without fail. And with that, I present to you Eric July in a recent video called How I'm Feeling. You can go check out the whole thing. The first 2 minutes and 15 seconds aren't relevant. I'm going to play from 2 minutes and 15 seconds to when it stops being relevant. It's only 8.5 minutes or just under 9 minutes total. So it won't be too long either way.
I will say this, and I guess this is somewhat serious. From that whole deal, it has been...
I'm only going to pause it to explain that whole deal being, he just said the parties in the trademark lawsuit are talking, and he expects to see that thing progress and resolve. He just can't talk about it yet, and he can't wait till he does. But so that whole thing is the trademark stuff with the Rippaverse, okay, just with ISOM. All right, so just giving you that context. That's it.
Interesting, for lack of better terms, to see how other people are responding to it. People that I've had a lot of respect for as well. And look, I don't require anybody's loyalty. That's kind of corny, especially, that's not what it is that I require of anybody. But it has been interesting to see, as an example. I have to mention them because I don't want anybody to think that like there's some diss or sneak diss. Like with Nick Rekieta, for example, and I don't think he's nearly as impartial as he thinks of himself, and that's cool, right? He's known the other party, I think, longer than he has me, and I just wish he would just flat out say it, instead of acting like, oh, he's so objective. Mainly because there's things that just are going completely unignored as far as the context of what's been happening, as if there hasn't been people that are involved here that have worked overdrive to slander, libel, flat out lie, misrepresent this company, and even do kind of this gay op stuff. And there's proof of it. I'm not just saying on one email or something. I mean, them just flat out admitting what it is that they're trying to do and contacting people, or doing this weird stuff, or trying to incentivize people and egging them on to try to get in some lawfare, like acting as if that's just not a thing, is very intriguing. And it's not just with him. And the reason why I bring that up is because I have way too long given people more credit than I probably should have. Okay. And what I mean by that is that the rules for engagement of how they view us being cool is different. Like I, for example, wouldn't do something and they have no problem doing it. And so that doesn't mean that they're in the wrong when they operate the way that they do. It just means that I need to adjust because the rules have been established there. And now I'm going to do that, right? The only thing that I require there is reciprocity. I certainly will not. I don't want to be getting hit up about stuff and somebody saying, well, hey, we cool, right? No, like it ain't all good when it's not all good. And let's just be honest there. It's really all, we're not going to just pretend that type of stuff away. And it's been interesting seeing people operate the way that they have, like I haven't seen it. And I have seen it, and I'm going to just start acting accordingly. But there have some people that have rocked with me, that have always rocked with me. The whole Friday Night Ties crew, Gary, all.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if people know the definitions of the words that they use. I said, I'm I'm going to avoid even restating my position on this. I don't think it needs to be said. Let me say this. I have not reached out to Eric to say, are we cool? I don't know if that's a reference to someone else. I know that I'm the only person named in that segment, but I have not reached out to say, hey, are we cool? Or whatever. First of all, that's weird. And I haven't hit him up to do anything. I think I tweeted publicly that he had said he didn't want to be invited onto any show to talk about the lawsuit. And I think I tweeted publicly in response that, like, people are welcome to come on my show to address something that's said by someone else. I don't want to give one side or another, but I didn't want to invite Eric on with the idea that he would be talking about a lawsuit that he was going to be potentially engaged in. I didn't want to mess anything up. I didn't want to do anything with that. I never want to fuck anybody's lawsuit stuff up. But I said, again, all this is public. I said, but Eric, if you did want to come on, hit me up. Of course, you'd be welcome to come say your side. But I did not DM him. I didn't like say, hey, man, we cool. We do this. I've always said, I like Eric. I think he's a good dude. Wait, I'm getting dangerously close to reasserting my position. I'm not going to. I'm going to let the video speak for itself, and people can make up their own decisions. You can assess what I've said and done, and you can decide whether or not this is accurate. I will say this. I've seen this. I've talked about this every time it happens. Every time it happens, I say this. It happens every time. So with that, my piece is said. My position is unchanged. I am just me out here. And I have a feeling that no matter what, this will escalate unless there's one path that I think that could diffuse this situation. There's one avenue where I think that this situation would disappear very quickly. And unfortunately, I don't think that is reflective of my character to do the one avenue that will successfully diffuse this. But hey, I've said my bit on it. I just find it interesting. Because you don't want to, like, obscure something, right? Like, you just want people to come out and say it, right? Like, I mean, you don't want to, like, beat around the bush on it. Like, you just want to, like, you just come out and say it. Like, just be 100 on it, right? Like, I've never been less than 100 in my position.